Welcome into Tennessee Titans today. I am your host, RC Maxfield, and, it's prediction season as we're inching ever so closely to the first preseason game in Week 1 for your Tennessee Titans. Let's talk about some bold predictions for the regular season, and when we talk about bold, you have to start talking with the king, right? And that's King Henry. Everybody knows him in Nashville as King Henry rushed for 2,000 yards last year. You see those stats in 2020 right down below. 378 carries, 2,227 rushing yards, 17 touchdowns, and a long TD of 94. Hell, why didn't he do it? Why can't he do it again, right? You get an extra game. He's the king, right? You do get to play Jacksonville twice a year. He might just get 1,000 yards against Jacksonville by himself. You look at what Derrick Henry has done the last 3 years in Nashville with the Titans, and he's gotten better every single year, actually almost a 500-yard jump each year. Now, again, let's calm expectations. He's not going to rush for 2,500 yards, but hell, why can't he do it again for 2,000? So true or false, will Derrick Henry be the first running back to rush for 2,000 yards in back-to-back seasons? Get your answer below. Type T for true, F for false down in the comments. I'm going to go with true, and the reason being, you get one extra games. I think the offense actually opens up a little bit when it comes to having Julio Jones and A.J. Brown on the outside. Now, I think this could open up some running lanes for Derrick Henry, and we know if he has an open lane, he can take it to the house at any time. Let's jump into the DBs as a completely revamped group for the Tennessee Titans right now. You got the Jackrabbit as your CB1. You got Kristian Fulton, who was a second-round pick last year out of LSU. You have the first-round pick in Caleb Farley, and then you got a really, really solid young group behind him as well. But I'm going to go ahead and say this. The Tennessee Titans will have a premier young DB duo. And when I'm talking about that, Elijah Molden's name's got to be involved, right? You're talking about a guy at Washington last year. Now, granted, he only played in 4 games, right? Had 21 tackles, 1 interception, 1 pass breakup, and 1 tackle for loss. But this is a guy that it's astonishing he fell to where he did in the NFL draft, right? This was the golden gem for the Tennessee Titans when it came to value in the NFL draft. You get to plug him into a DB room that is pretty young outside of the Jackrabbit, right? And you get to play him right away, and I think he could be an impact player alongside guys like Kevin Byard and the Jackrabbit. Another guy that could potentially be an impact player, the first-round pick, and Caleb Farley. Again, he did not play in 2020. He has had some injuries at Virginia Tech, has the first-round pick from the Hokies, right? But I think that he has potential. If it wasn't for the injuries that he sustained at Virginia Tech, he could have easily been a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. Some people even said that he was the best corner in the NFL draft if it wasn't for those injuries. And that's something that the Tennessee Titans haven't had in terms of somebody in the secondary that has a ton of potential, right? You think about it, Adoree Jackson, he was up and down. He had one great season, and then he went down. I think Caleb Farley could be that guy when it's all said and done that is super consistent when he's on the field and healthy. The key issue there is he going to be healthy enough to truly make an impact for Tennessee in his rookie season? He is practicing. He is back, but can he play about 15 to 17 games? I think that is going to be the major concern for the rookie. So with my last bold prediction, I have the Tennessee Titans repeating as AFC champs. Let's take a look at their schedule, though, as again, it's going to be a difficult one because they won the division last year. So let's start off with Week 1 against the Fighting Cliff Kingsbury's and Kyler Murray's of the world in the Arizona Cardinals. Then they have to travel to the Pacific Northwest and face off against the Seahawks, Colts at home, and then the Jets. I don't see why, if you're the Titans, you can't start off 3-1 there. The hardest game you have on the schedule will be against the Seattle Seahawks. Moving on to Week 5 through 8, you play the Sparkling Kitties and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think you win that one. Buffalo Bills and Kansas City, that is a tough stretch right there with those 2 games. If you can go 1-1, I feel like you're in a good spot. But after Week 8, I think you're leading this division moving into the second half of the year, right? Now you have the Rams, Saints, Texans, Patriots. What are the Saints? The Texans are awful. And then the Patriots, who's the starting quarterback at that point? If you could potentially go 3-1, hey, maybe even upset the Rams on the West Coast. I'm not calling that, but I think it is possible. I think you're in a good spot and well on your way to repeating and maybe even potentially having a shot at the top 1 or 2 seeds in the AFC. rest of season, this is really where it comes down to a coin flip situation for me. I think you have 3 coin flip games, 15, 16, and 17. The Steelers is a coin flip, the 49ers is a coin flip, and then the Dolphins is a coin flip. I think all of those teams are in the same area as the Titans. It'll be interesting, but I want to hear your predictions. Will the Titans win the AFC South? Type Y for yes or in for no. Let us know down in the comments, guys.